down to around that 20-degree mark tonight. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Schrock Innovations presents the Midwest #1 independent computer repair company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. This is Compute This.
Good morning, folks, and welcome into Compute This. Thanks for joining us this morning. My name is Thor Schrock, and I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with service centers in Lincoln, Omaha. Well, you heard the big man, Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, Des Moines, and across the country via the Schrock desk. Actually, the original Schrock Innovations was started in Lincoln. I want to give a big shout out to our affiliate KFOR in Lincoln, the original, the OG Compute This radio station. The Lincoln Service Center is located just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. There in Lincoln. In Omaha was the second Schrock Service Center, which is 168th and Burke, just across the street from the Village Point Mall, where the rent used to be cheaper, but I'm not sure that it is anymore because, mall rent. Used to be a bad thing when you said mall rent. Now you're like, mall rent, they're hurting. Of course, then in Papillion, we have the Teenage Schrock at 84th and Highway 370 there in Midlands Place. And then we have, I'm going to say it, Emily, Baby Schrock. Baby Schrock in Des Moines, 9500 University Avenue. The staff in Des Moines, just amazing people. I love having them there. They're doing great work. It's always challenging when you're starting a new service center. Then you throw a pandemic on top of it, and it makes for good life. But those guys, I want to give them a big shout out because we had a couple of issues this week with the phone system in the Lincoln Service Center. Lincoln is our highest phone traffic service center because it's been around for darn near 21 years. A lot of people have the phone number, and when they have problems, they call. And Allo literally had us down for 2 solid business days in Lincoln. It was ridiculous. And in the meantime, we transferred all that phone traffic to the Des Moines Service Center. So we took the phone traffic from the most established, senior, busiest service center in our company and transferred it to the youngest, least experienced crew of people in Des Moines. And they knocked it out of the park. Just amazing, amazing people. Big shout out to Shelley out there in Des Moines. All right, number to join us on the program today, 866 well, wow, I'm giving you the old phone number. Wow, I almost literally dropped like the phone number from back when we were only on KFOR in Lincoln. 888-250-2091. It's weird how those numbers just stay in your brain and they're just in there forever. 888-250-2091. As we do every week, we're going to give away a Schrock Innovations gift certificate for $25, good for anything your heart desires because we are in the 21st century Corona economy. We don't mail you a paper certificate anymore because that was so like January. Now we just apply it to your Schrock account. So when you come into the service center, it's $25 in credit on your account. It's good for 90 days. And all you have to do is call the program, ask a question, make a comment, and we'll put you in the drawing for that at the end of the program. Also want to give a big shout out to our top fans. Good morning, Roger. Good morning, Mary. There's more here. I'm trying to scroll down as I talk. Winston, of course, the unofficial audio technician of the Compute This radio show. At what point does Winston become official? I'm not sure. Do we have to pay him to make him official? I don't know. But welcome aboard, everybody. You too can watch the show on Facebook, facebook.com/Schrock Innovations, where we're live streaming right now. Now, if you missed the show last week, you can also watch it on our Facebook page from last week, or you can also pick it up at SchrockInnovations.com. But if you did miss the show, you missed a good one. Last week, we told you all about the 2020 holiday special computers and how they stack up against competing computers out there. They're just amazing machines. We talked about Ginger Rogers and her new business. She's launching a legal nurse consulting business in the middle of a pandemic. Most new businesses don't want to launch in a pandemic. Legal nurse consulting might be a good one. That could be some business in New York, if you know what I mean. Rogers and Associates, that was Ginger's business there. We also told you that you will be forced to stop using Flash in 2021 now. Of course, Adobe is going to stop supporting Flash here in December, and all major browsers are going to stop allowing you to run it starting in 2021, which means if you like those Flash games on Pogo.com, other places you may lose access to some of those games unless they recode them into HTML5. So if your games magically stop working in January, that is why. So that was what you missed last week. And of course, probably one of the most popular segments was the last one we did on the show last week. I gave you a heads up on everything that I saw in the last week that was in shortage. You know you're in 2020 when you go to the grocery store, you're at Hy-Vee, and you're going down the ice cream aisle, and you're like, ice cream. Do they have peppermint ice cream? Maybe they got some peppermint in here. That'd be good. It's Christmas time, kind of, we're going to do some of that. And then you look up, and above you, towering above the freezer cases, are cases and cases of God's gift to man, toilet paper. I mean, Hy-Vee is serious. They are big time toilet paper carriers right now. You're in 2020 when that's the case. Case of toilet paper. But anyway, so it was kind of a funny thing. I warned you about some of the stuff that you should watch out for this holiday season. Not necessarily toilet paper, but if you're going to make holiday baking goods and treats and things like you would do any normal year, go out and get your ingredients now, because the lovely Kimberly and I went out to get some ingredients, and we found that things were a little short. Shelves are not 5 or 10 things deep. They're only 2 or 3 things deep. And when everybody's baking pumpkin pie at the same time, that can lead to a pumpkin shortage crisis, and we don't want to end up there on Christmas Day. So make sure we just gave you kind of a heads up of the things that we noticed that were running low in stock, so you could go out, stock those things up, and have those treats available so you can have as normal of a holiday season as possible with your family this year. Now, coming up on the program today, there's only one day left. Tomorrow is the final day that you can receive a $100 discount on a holiday special laptop or desktop by ordering before the end of November. Now, I do understand that on our OG station in Lincoln, this show is carried at a tape delay 1 week. So we have, through the magic of what is the coupon code, it will work for you guys in Lincoln 1 week as well, 1 week and a day from today. So everybody hearing this broadcast at any point they're hearing it has 1 day left to make sure you get your holiday special order in if you want to capture that discount coupon code. That coupon code is for $100 off, and it's coupon code EARLYBIRD. The reason we are doing the coupon code is because, guys, I'm telling you, like, the shortages are real. I can literally order one holiday special laptop a day. We are selling more than one per day. You do the math, and weekends don't count. I can't order any on the weekends. So when we sell them on the weekends. So you do the math, guys. Are we going to be able to deliver everybody's holiday special before Christmas? No, we will not. Ryzen 7 processors are currently in shortage. Motherboards are currently in shortage. They come and they go. So when they're here, we can order them, and we can sometimes get them with no quantity limitations. When they're gone, we get messages like, oh yeah, they'll be back in stock on December 15th. Which is you buy them, you ship them, 5 days later you get them, and it's Christmas time, and everybody's ordering online, so you can't trust shipping dates. If you need your holiday special before Christmas, please tell us that when you buy it, and we will do everything that we can to make sure that you get yours before the holiday season. Please don't tell us you need it for Christmas if you don't actually need it for Christmas. And God bless those customers. We've had customers come in that said, Thor, if there's somebody who needs one before Christmas, give them ours. It's all right. We're patient. We can wait. It's not a Christmas gift for us. It's just something we need to do this year. Especially the businesses that have been ordering. I have to tell you, one of the things that really concerned us this year, as you know, normally we have 150 of each holiday special, 150 laptops and 150 desktops. And this year we only have 75 of each. COVID, right? Fun times. But hey, we have a holiday special, and it kicks last year's holiday special's butt, okay? So what do you want from me? All right. So we got that for you. But the thing is, what happens is businesses, especially businesses that have done very well during the year, which I know it sounds weird to think of businesses that are doing well throughout the year. But you have to remember that there are small businesses like restaurants, bars, things like that have had an incredibly tough year. Hair salons, they're just an incredibly tough year. There are also businesses, however, that did extremely well. There are businesses that were agile and shifted. For example, we're working on a bid right now for a company in Iowa that sells hats. Right? They sell ball caps and face all kinds of hats. They shifted gears to face coverings right as the pandemic got in, and they had a gangbusters year selling masks. So there are small businesses that are agile that did well during this, and you're going to have tax implications from doing well. And the last thing you need after surviving all of the things that 2020 threw at you is a giant tax bill from the federal government at the end of the year because you did your job too well. So one of the ways that businesses avoid that is through advanced depreciation. Now, I'm not an accountant here. I'm not going to try to give you tax advice or anything like that. If you take your tax advice from the computer repair guy, you get the audit you deserve, okay? But businesses that have made a lot of money in the year need to find expenses that they can depreciate against that. And one of the things you can do as a business is, well, hey, we need to buy new computers for our people. We're going to need to buy new computers anyway. These holiday specials, normally we buy a computer that only lasts 3 to 5 years. These holiday specials last a decade, and they come fully equipped for web conferencing. They come with a webcam. They come with a 3-piece speaker set, the desktop model. Of course, the laptop comes with a camera too. They're ready to rock and roll for business. Yeah, I'll take 10, please. That's what's starting to happen in December, guys. As businesses start planning their year-end tax stuff, that's what's going to start happening in December. So the businesses that have called us already to order, I was chatting with a guy last night at 8:30 at night through our Facebook Messenger app on the website, who is buying a computer for his business. And he's like, hey, I'm just, I got to spend the money, right? And I can depreciate the whole cost of the computer. So if I buy 5 of them, at $1,600 a piece, I can take that full deduction off my taxes this year. And I need the deduction. So that's something to keep in mind. So that's why we have the coupon code, to make sure that our normal customers have the opportunity to get an order in and have a shot to get it before the end of the year. Of course, us. We're going to do everything within our power to make sure that you get the holiday special computer that you have ordered and that you get it on time and quickly. We're quoting 14 to 21 business days. Now, I know I have some new people listening because, we're all over the Midwest now. And I know there are people listening right now that have absolutely no flipping idea what I am talking about. So what is the holiday special? And I apologize for everyone who knows, but the holiday special is a once-a-year computer deal that Schrock Innovations does, where all the emphasis is taken off profitability. We sell the computer at cost. It is a $1,599 computer, which everyone looks at that and they say, oh my gosh, that's an expensive computer, right? But then you realize everything that it comes with. So the desktop model, for example, comes with a monitor, and not just any monitor. It has a blue light filter built into the monitor, which is you guys, I included this on the holiday special this year because in years gone by, I have poo-pooed the blue light filter, like whatever blue light filter. As I have started to, I don't want to say get older, but let's say as I have gained wisdom over my years, my eyes have told me that blue light is ouchy. And so I bought a new monitor because one of my kids smacked my monitor and it fell over and cracked. So I got a new monitor for my desk. I said, I'll just get this one with a blue light filter. It's a little bit more, but whatever. I have to tell you, not having that giant blue headlight in your face when you're working in front of the computer, it is so much easier on your eyes. Also, the monitors that we're putting with the holiday special have a higher refresh rate, which means if you do game with them, they are better for gaming. It's a 75 hertz refresh rate instead of 60. Also, it means that when your graphics card sends a signal to the monitor responds more quickly. That's a lot of geek speak for it's easier on the eyes. It's more detailed and easier on the eyes. It's as close to a Retina display on a PC desktop as you're going to get. And it comes with it for that price on the holiday special. It comes with a webcam. And not just, I've started to see, we can start to get, Logitech at Walmart the other day had some 720p webcams in, which is the low end of HD. These webcams are the high end of HD. I've been hoarding them for the entire year for the holiday special, but they are full HD webcams. They are 1080p. They're manual focus, so you don't have to rely on the software to autofocus everything. It actually has a focus ring, like a real camera. They're super high quality. They have dual microphones in many cases. I mean, it's amazing. So the microphone webcam comes with it, and because speakers in the monitor are great. But when you're doing a Zoom call, they're not good enough to hear the other person well, especially if you're like me and you're half deaf in one ear. So a 3-piece speaker set so that you can adjust the volume and move the speakers around the desk so you don't get an echo. Wow, imagine that. These are things in the past that weren't really that important. This is the first time we've ever paired a webcam with the holiday special. I think 1 year back in 2012, the monitor had a built-in webcam in it, but that was kind of it was an anomaly. That was the freaky weird thing of the time. Comes with a wireless keyboard and mouse, so you've got everything you need to sit down and start computing from day one. Maybe except a printer, but you probably already have a printer. The laptop, again, amazing computer. It has 2 displays, guys. The laptop has 2 displays. And I don't mean a giant external monitor. I mean there's the main screen, which is a 4K 15-inch screen. So it's a ultra high definition screen. You said you didn't want touch, so it's not touch. It's a regular old screen. It cut about half a pound out of the weight, by the way. But I can still say it has a touch screen because the touch pad, the place where you put your finger to move the mouse around, is actually a screen, like a phone screen. So you can use it as a secondary monitor. You can use it as a calculator. If you're going to calculate, you can do you can put a video down there. So if you're watching an instructional video on how to do something while you're doing it on the computer, you can put the video down on the touchpad while you use the main screen. You can put your Zoom call down there while you're looking at a document. There's a lot of different things you can do with this, and it really changes the game of how the laptop works. Now, amazingly, this laptop has a 15-inch screen, but they stuck it in a 14-inch unibody. So this thing has it all. It's light and it's small. The screen goes edge to edge, which is how they managed to fit that screen, and there's no black bezel around the outside edges. And it has a 10 keypad still, which normally they don't have when you drop to that size of housing. And it has the secondary display, infrared cameras, microphones, USB-C ports, 10th generation Intel processors, 16 gigs of RAM, solid state hard drives. I mean, literally, it has everything, guys. Now, these quantities are limited. As I mentioned, we started with 75. I haven't actually checked this morning to see where we're at. I know we sold quite a few yesterday. I would imagine that we're in the 60s somewhere. I don't think we're not going to sell out today or anything, but you do only have 1 day left to use coupon code EARLYBIRD. It is coupon code EARLYBIRD to get the discount off of the $100 discount off the holiday special. 1 day left, and then after that, it's just regular price because we're trying to get you to order early so that we can get it taken care of for you and get it to you before Christmas. All right. The number to join us on the program, 888-250-2091. Coming up on the show today, watching out. We're going to talk in the next segment here about watching out for email scams, guys. This is really important. There are some new email scams. There are special ones for business I want you to watch out for, and there are ones for consumers I want you to watch out for. Do not fall victim to these. It's bad. Then businesses that have websites in 2021, the rules are changing. We've talked about that before. But from the consumer perspective, how is this going to impact you? So we're going to tell you about all the ads that are going to disappear from the internet starting in 2021. That is, if businesses want their websites to rank, they're going to get rid of the ads. Also, you're familiar with Sophos, right? We're migrating everyone away from Semantic Endpoint to the new Sophos Intercept X antivirus software. We have about 900 customers who have not migrated yet. We continue to call them. We continue to reach out to them. It is the holidays, It is what it is. We're doing our best to get a hold of you. If you're getting a message on your screen, an error message on your screen about your semantic protection, you might want to give us a call because you don't have protection anymore. We warned you for a month this was going to happen. Now we're trying to get a hold of you and you won't call us back. So we're going to keep trying. But if you haven't already migrated away from Semantic Endpoint to Sophos, we need to get that done for you. We're happy to help you do that in the service centers. But Sophos actually came out with their list of 2021 threats. So the biggest threats that are coming in 2021 for your computer and your technology, we're going to tell you what those are coming up next on Compute This.
Today's fragile computers need maintenance more than ever. Your computer needs a maintenance checkup every 6 months to last beyond its 18-month expected lifespan. Every person listening to this broadcast has either experienced data loss or knows someone who has. When you think about it, you have a lot more data stored in many more places than you'd like to admit. Have you downloaded those videos from your phone, backed up the pictures on your iPad, or even tackled that sometimes daunting task of backing up your entire computer's hard drive? Most people just don't back up their stuff, and that's why Schrock Innovations has one of the most advanced data recovery centers in the Midwest. Equipped with the latest DDI data imaging devices, state-of-the-art custom recovery software, and Omaha's best data recovery technicians, Schrock Innovations has a 96.8% success rate when recovering data from damaged hard drives, flash drives, camera cards, and more. We all know we should back up our data, but if you are ever caught in a data loss nightmare, call the experts at Schrock Innovations to get your data back right where it belongs, safe and backed up on a stable hard drive. Compute This Pro Tip 578. Technology is constantly changing, so how can you tell when the time has come to recycle your old outdated computer and invest in a new one? Experts have rules of thumb and formulas, but Schrock believes the answer is simple. You should replace your old computer when it can no longer do the things you need in a secure way. For example, you should not be using operating systems like Windows XP or Vista because they're no longer maintained by Microsoft and they're not secure. And if your computer cannot run Windows 10, it's probably time to begin saving for a replacement. If your existing computer requires a repair and that cost is 50% or more of the cost of a new computer, it might be time to consider a replacement. But keep in mind, additional costs like data transfers and important software you have to upgrade like genealogy software or Quicken. And also keep in mind that modern computers are engineered to last 18 months for a normal user. And don't worry, you are considered a normal user. Schrock modular PCs and solid-state laptops are specifically designed to last 4 to 6 years for that same normal user, saving your family money and time. This pro tip brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back into Compute This. My name's Thor Schrock, and I'm still the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company with multiple locations, Lincoln, Omaha, Papillion, and Des Moines. We are open. Compute This is recorded Sunday mornings at 7 a.m. If you want to be live on the program, call in between 7 and 8 a.m. to the show, and the number to give us a call is 888-250-2091. The show re-airs in various markets at different times. So if you do call in during other times, you get transferred to the service center, which is where we help you out anyway. So that's good news there. But we are open on Saturdays from 10 in the morning until 8 in the evening, Sundays from noon to 5. Of course, we are always open at SchrockInnovations.com. A couple of years ago, we made the decision to really kind of move our website to an e-commerce model, which is a really scary thing for a service company to do because it's hard to sell services on the internet. It's easy to sell products. It's harder to sell services. And so as a result, the uptick in business that we have seen from COVID, demand for security products, demand for webcams, hardware, things like that, the technology solutions at SchrockInnovations.com have really helped us continue to help our customers and to reach them and to get them the assistance they need through the chatbot, things like that. Just amazing work that the Schrock Interactive team has done for us there, and we really appreciate it. 888-250-2091. All right, so email scams. They've been around as long as there have been Nigerian princes, right? Well, it's true. Who sends the scams, right? Hello, The challenge we have, though, is the emails are starting to get good. They're starting to get really good. And right about this time in the holiday season, especially as we approach Christmas, one of the biggest concerns is going to be package delivery and package delivery timetables. Is it going to make it before Christmas? When did it ship? Is anybody, you know how they have like, buy it now to have guaranteed delivery before Christmas? I'm not sure anyone's going to guarantee anything this year. They're going to say, for a good chance of it arriving before Christmas. And so people are going to be tracking packages. And when people are tracking packages, you're going to get emails. The emails are going to come in and say, DHL has a package delivery for you that we were unable to deliver. We are going to return this package to the sender if you don't click this link and indicate you would like a redelivery. Well, they don't do that. Neither does UPS, neither does FedEx. They all try to deliver the package 3 times before they return it to sender. Don't respond to those emails. Don't click the links. They are not real. They never have been real. Now, UPS does offer a delivery notification through email. If you sign up for an alert to receive through email, it's okay to use those alerts. But just to be an abundance of caution, as a rule, you should never click any link sent to you in any email. You should always go back to the website yourself. So if you get an alert that your package is delayed from UPS, go to ups.com, put in the tracking number, and click track, and it will tell you everything about the package. If there's a delay, whatever, don't trust the links. We're seeing huge numbers of these, and now we just saw a report that on the dark web, they're selling literally thousands of C-level corporate email addresses. What is a C-level email? That's corporate level. So that's CEO, accounts payable, payroll, human resources names. So, and they're selling them from a minimum of $100 per email address up to $1,000 per email address, depending on who the person is and what their resources are in a company. And why would people pay $100 for the human resources contact for a company? They're not applying for a job, right? They're going to send spam email to that person, and that's an email address that everyone knows is legitimate. They're going to send them the email. They have the name of the person, they've got the phone number of the person, and they've got the full name of the person in their position in the company. That's enough to do social engineering. Social engineering is when you take normal life events and put them together in such an order that something appears to be legitimate when it's not. For example, I get emails all the time from the Schrock Innovations legal team. We don't have a legal team. We don't have a legal defense fund even. I mean, we don't have nothing. We have a corporate attorney. Heidi's great. If Heidi needs me, she emails me. This email didn't come from Heidi. It came from the Schrock Innovations legal department, and it's talking about a human resources issue, and we're ready to pay the settlement out to this employee, blah, 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 blah. Well, obviously, I know that's a scam email because that's dumb. Now imagine instead, Heidi is out on maternity leave right now. So imagine instead, I get an email from someone at Heidi's firm, supposedly, saying, we're your point of legal contact and we have a lawsuit and we want to settle it and it's going to cost $1,500 to settle it. Thor, do you want to settle it? And I'm like, I don't know if this is legit. What is this? And then I receive a phone call, and the phone call caller ID says it's coming from my law firm. And it says, oh, hey, Thor, I know you used to work with Heidi over here and she's out on maternity leave, but my name is, Nigerian Prince. And I'm going to settle this for you, but we need a wire transfer. I know you're not in Lincoln, so we're going to just do a wire transfer. It'll be the easiest way. We can send over a DocuSign. We can make it happen for you. I'm still going to sniff that out and say, well, what's the lawsuit? What's going on? But now imagine that you're like, Apple. Just get it. It's just another box to check on your day. Just get it done. Imagine that you're HP. Imagine that you're Dell. Imagine that you're imagine you're ConAgra. If these things are legit enough, if you get an email from the CEO, supposedly, telling you to wire transfer money to a place for a specific reason, and then you receive a phone call backing up that email, it can look really legit. So just be really, really careful about what you're seeing in your inbox this holiday season. It's not everything that it appears to be. 888-250-2091. Got to take our bottom of the hour break, but stay with us, guys. We got a lot coming up on the show. We're going to tell you about all of the ads that are going to disappear from the internet. It's going to be like the rapture, except they're going to take all the bad ads away. Also, Sophos has a warning about what's coming in 2021 for your smartphones, and it's not funny. So we're going to tell you why you need to have that level of protection on all of your devices, including your cell phones, and what you need to do to stay safe coming up next on Compute This.
Schrock Innovations can't teleport technicians to you, but online help is only a click away with the Schrock Desk. Subscribe today and get unlimited help whenever you need it.
Welcome to Schrock Innovations. How can I help you today?
I'm having a problem with my computer.
You're at the right place. We fix problems with computers.
That's why I'm here.
What seems to be the problem with your computer?
When I press the power button, it doesn't boot up. How fast can you fix it?
We're the fastest computer fixer in Omaha. We'll fix it fast.
How fast?
Real fast. Do you have it plugged in when you turn it on?
Of course it was plugged in. Do people make that mistake a lot?
You'd be surprised. When you press the power button, what happens?
It roars, then stops and sits.
Ooh, like a lion?
Like a what? Well, I suppose.
Sounds like a bad power supply, sir.
Is that bad?
It's not good, but we can fix it fast.
How fast?
How's that for fast?
Does it work?
Yes, sir. More purring, less roaring now.
Wow, that was fast.
Schrock Innovations is the fastest computer repair in Omaha, sir.
That's great, but all this talking is making me hungry. Do you guys sell sandwiches?
We do fast computer repair. If you want a fast sandwich, you have to go someplace else. Why would we sell sandwiches?
I don't know. All this fast talking is strangely familiar.
Schrock Innovations. If you want a fast sandwich, don't go there. But if you want your computer fixed and back on your desk fast, give them a call or visit their website at SchrockInnovations.com. Compute This Pro Tip 178. Those little life-saving surge protector strips are vital to your computer's health and should be used whenever possible, even for laptops. As computers get smaller and more powerful, they're also becoming more sensitive to dirty power, and your power is a lot dirtier than you might think. Even if you have a whole home surge protection, most power surges are generated within your own home. If you've ever vacuumed and seen the lights get dimmer and brighter, you created a surge. Surge protectors can only absorb so much energy measured in joules. When that capacity is exhausted, your surge protector becomes a glorified extension cord and needs to be replaced. You should always look for surge protectors that give audible alerts when they're no longer able to protect your equipment. Schrock recommends these because the lights on most strips are just power lights and they don't tell you when it's time to replace the unit. If in doubt, replace your surge protectors annually to keep your expensive TVs, computers, and other electronic equipment safe. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Fox News, I'm Carol McHugh. President Trump says he's ready to appeal a Pennsylvania court ruling on alleged vote tampering to the highest court there is.
He says the number of ballots that our campaign is challenging in the Pennsylvania case is far larger than the 81,000 vote margin. Now, there has been an argument that changes in certain laws in Pennsylvania were in violation of both state and federal statutes, but the high court in that state said such allegations should have been brought sooner so as to not disenfranchise millions of Pennsylvania voters.
Fox's Kevin Cork. Online shopping set a new record on Black Friday. Tomorrow's Cyber Monday may yield even greater results.
Monday could be the largest online sales day in U.S. history. Hot items so far this year are Hot Wheels cars, Lego sets, Apple AirPods, Samsung televisions, and video games. In-person spending, though, dropped an estimated 52%.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. America is listening to Fox News.
Now, the Newsradio 1110 KFAB Weather Watch.
A windy and colder day is in store with partly cloudy skies. High temperatures will top out around 40 degrees, but we will have wind gusts up to around 40 miles per hour. So that will drop wind chills into the 20s for much of the day. Overnight lows dropping down to around that 20-degree mark tonight. With Omaha's most accurate forecast, I'm 6 News First Alert meteorologist Mallory Schnell on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
Alrighty, folks, welcome back in. Thanks for hanging with us through the break there. Hope you all got your potty breaks in, got your snacks and your coffee refilled, because we are ready to rock and roll continue on Compute This. My name is Thor Schrock. I'm the owner of the Schrock Innovations Computer Company, where we fix computers. We build new modular computers. Modular isn't just a buzzword. You know, I had a customer on Facebook literally ask me yesterday, why do you guys charge so much for upgrades on your computers? And it was one of those kind of confrontational sounding like messages, right? And then the guy said, no, I'm just genuinely curious. And I'm like, okay, I don't know if he's a competitor or whatever, but he took the time to message me, so I'm going to take the time to message him back. And I explained things like, well, the thing is, you can't just look at the price of the part and say, oh, that's the price to put it in the computer. Because let's say, like the other guy yesterday I was talking to, he wanted to get a gaming computer for his son. So he needs to put a better graphics card in the holiday special so that it will play Call of Duty well. Okay. That's great. Most of our customers don't play Call of Duty. We didn't see the need to spend part of our $15.99 budget on a giant graphics card when you would rather have a webcam or speakers or something you're actually going to use. So he had to put an extra graphics card in. But what he doesn't realize when he looks at the price of the graphics card, and it wasn't that guy that wasn't asking the question, but the price of the graphics card, when you put that card in, we have to change the power supply on the computer. It's got to have more wattage. It has to have different connections. It has to be a higher rating. Then, once we change out the power supply, guess what? The motherboard inside the computer that holds the graphics card doesn't have, the ports are close together. So we have to get a different motherboard that the ports are spaced further apart so that there's room for the graphics card and the Wi-Fi card and any other card you might want to add in the future, right? So all these things add to the cost. So it's not just the cost of the graphics card. It's other associated costs with making sure that we preserve the modular nature of the computer. So it's a real thing. It's something that we take very seriously, and it's why Schrock desktop computers last 5 to 6 years, or I should say 4 to 6 years. It's always been 4 to 6. 4 to 6 pretty much means 6. That's all anybody hears, right? They last 4 to 6 years. And then, the gentleman I was talking to, he just got rid of his old modular computer he got in 2012. And he's like, yeah, got rid of it a year ago. Whatever. I guess it was time. Well, yeah, it was 7 years in. It's time. 4 to 6 years means 4 to 6 years. And then as opposed to 18 months, which is what your normal desktop lasts these days. And I know everybody hears that and they say, well, Thor, the desktop that I bought runs great. It's not a problem. It's been more than 18 months. That's because you bought it 3-4 years ago, guys. They don't make them like that anymore. Everything is chip on board now. Everything is designed to be disposable now. Literally everything. You can't add a stick of memory to a desktop computer now. You can't add a DVD drive to it if you wanted to, or any other drive for that matter. You can't add another hard drive to the computer. It is what it is the day you buy it. It will never be anything more, and over time it will wear down and definitely be something less. We have an HP on the bench in the Lincoln Service Center. It has a bad power supply. That HP is equipped with a slimline DVD drive. That's a laptop DVD drive for everybody who speaks English. So instead of a big DVD drive, they put a little skinny laptop one in there because I guess they'll save money. So the power supply has a special lead that comes off the back that powers that tiny little DVD drive. Her power supply died. Guess what? Now she has a choice. We can put a regular standard power supply in and you will lose your DVD drive, or we can order the HP, the actual HP power supply, which is used, because HP doesn't sell them new, used for $150. I mean, for a used power supply. You got to be kidding me. Like, when we see these coming in recycles, we should start pulling them out. They're worth $150 a piece, apparently, right? So the guys were like, Thor, this isn't a great solution, but do you have any ideas? So we started digging into the problem. And guess what? We can get a regular power supply. They make an adapter plug that takes the regular power supply plug and adapts it to HP's squirrely laptop hard or DVD drive hookup. And we are able to get her into a real power supply with an actual hookup for her HP Omen. This isn't even a cheap HP, guys. This is an HP Omen. This is their gaming line. So that's why it was ridiculous. So anyway, we got it taken care of. We got her into a power supply. We got her into a nice EVGA, high-quality, bronze-rated power supply that'll run the graphics card, that has the adapters she needs to run her DVD drive because she wanted the DVD drive for sure. There you go. That's the difference between an HP computer and a modular computer. You have that problem with a modular computer, you bring it in, power supply swap, and it's done. Because everything is designed to be upgradable. All right, number to join us on the program today, 888-250-2091. Let's jump into those phones real quick. Ed is having some trouble backing up his hard drive. Welcome to the program, Ed. What can I do for you today on Compute This?
Yeah, good morning, Thor.
Good morning.
Yes. I try to back up my Schrock laptop to my external hard drive and do a system image also. And it gets about 50% through, jump to 70%, and eventually errors out and says, EFI system partition failure on backup, yada, 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 access denied.
Yep. So what software are you using to make the image?
The Windows, the old Windows 7 backup.
All right, that's your problem. The old Windows 7 backup is not compatible for image backups with Windows 10 anymore. It used to be back in the day, and then we realized there was a problem. If you took every 6 months they come out with a new version of Windows 10. So if you take an image backup of 3 versions ago and then you try to restore it later, it won't restore. And so now you can restore files from a Windows 7 backup, but you can't restore the actual image. So if you're only using it for file backup, the Windows 10 file history backup is actually far superior. There are third-party backup utilities out there, like Acronis, for example, that will still allow you to do an image backup, but it's the new higher levels of Windows 10 security that are preventing you from taking that image on the backup.
I see, because I was able to do a successful backup of my Schrock desktop with a system image about a month ago.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of variables that'll depend on how it's built, how it's installed, how Windows 10 was originally installed on it. There's a lot of factors involved there, but the Windows 7 backup utility, we officially stopped recommending it about 1.5 years ago. Now we recommend the Windows 10 file history backup. The main reason we like the Windows 10 file history backup is because it keeps a rolling historical record of all the files. So if you've ever done this thing where you create a file, and then you need to create a new file that's very similar to the old file. So you open the old file, and you start making changes to it. And you mean to do a save as, saving it as a new document. But actually, you just hit save because, monkeys do what monkeys do, right? So I hit save, and I save over the document. Now I don't have the old one anymore that I still need it. Well, with file history backup, I can go back in time and get that document back off of my file history drive. So it's kind of nice. You don't have to remember to do a backup event anymore. You can set it to backup every 10 minutes, so it's virtually real time. And you can set it to automatically keep all the files until space is needed, and then it will delete the oldest backed up file first, or the oldest version of that backed up file to free up space for new files as needed. So you don't have the problem that you would have with the Windows 7 backup, where the hard drive would fill up and then you had to dump the whole hard drive and start over again. You don't have that problem with the Windows 10 file history backup. So I would recommend you switch over to that one, Ed, if you can.
Okay, yeah, that's activated also. But yeah, I do this before I do the next Windows upgrade.
Oh, yeah.
I always want to get a system image just in case it all goes sideways and my hard drive catches fire.
Yep.
I have a system image where I don't have to, okay, where's my program disks? I don't know where I put them.
Yeah, that's always a problem. Reinstalling applications is always the big problem. Thank you for the call, Ed. I appreciate you taking the time to give us a jingle here this morning. Also got you in the drawing, and right now your odds are looking really good for the $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. Also, I want to mention everybody out there who's watching on Facebook at facebook.com/Schrock Innovations. Please take a moment to click like and to follow Schrock. When we do live streams, we only do them on Sunday mornings, well, when the show is live, or when there's something really important. Last week I did a live stream because a lot of people were updating their Macs to Big Sur, and they were having problems because some software is not compatible with Big Sur yet. For example, Sophos won't run on Big Sur. That's a problem. It's throwing alerts for people, and it gets really annoying. It protects the computer, but it throws alerts, and it shouldn't. They're working on that. There are other people who are having trouble after they've upgraded to Big Sur or to Catalina recently, that they can't log into their computer because Malware bites antivirus software that people subscribe to for some heaven unknown reason is causing the computer to not allow them in. Bitdefender is not working properly right now. So there's a lot going on right now, and I shot a video of it because literally I walked into the Papillion Service Center, and normally it's usual that we have 1 or 2 Macs in the service center at any given point in time, and the rest of everything is PCs. I had an equal number of Macs and PCs on the Papillion bench at the same time. That never happens. So I'm like, guys, have you noticed the number of Macs in there? They're like, yeah, it's really weird. And I'm like, yeah, it's really weird. What are they in for? Yeah, it kind of seems to be the same thing. They're all just different permeations of the same problem, basically. Huh. Let's do a live stream real quick to tell people, don't update yet. It's a problem. I don't know what it is yet. We're figuring it out. We'll let you know, but don't do it yet. So anyway, the long story short, if you like us and follow the Schrock page, you'll get in on those notifications as well when we do those on live stream. All right, 888-250-2091 is the number to join us on the program today. One of the things that we talked about here on the show here recently was the Sophos software, the antivirus software, and the need to make sure that your computer is protected. I mentioned earlier in the show, if you're still running Semantic Endpoint, you should not be at this point. If you have Semantic Endpoint installed on your computer right now, you have a problem, a bad problem. You're not protected. We've been trying to call you. For whatever reason, we're not connecting. So please give us a call in the service center if you're still running Semantic Endpoint for any reason on any device, including your phones. We want to make sure we get off of that. Now, one of the things that I want to bring up here real quick on the program before we go to break, I've talked in the past about how the rules are changing for businesses with websites. And Google, like it or not, love them or not, Google writes the rules because they have might makes right. They have the power of the sword. They can literally deplatform you, remove you from the index, basically kill your entire business if they want to. So you need to play by their rules. You can hate it, you can grumble about it, but you've got to do it. So one of the things that Google is doing is they are going to start, they're not going to take them out of the index, but they're going to start disfavoring websites, which is their code speak for we're going to push you down in the search results if you use certain advertising techniques on your website. So these advertising techniques include pop-up ads. Any website that has a pop-up that covers the content of the web page for any reason. Think about all those blogs out there. Subscribe to our newsletter that pops up on the screen. That's a pop-up ad. Even though it's not an ad, it's a pop-up ad, and it will get that website penalized. When you go onto Forbes and they have that big giant push-down ad that comes down from the top of the screen at Forbes.com, any ad that slides the content that you're trying to read down the page to show you an ad will be reduced in the index. So if you're on your phone, right? You go to a website, you're reading a news story, and all of a sudden what you're reading jumps down off the screen without you touching the screen. Yeah, Google says that we're done with that. We're not gonna tolerate that. Pencil push-down ads that you see on newspaper websites, that's going to be a problem. Pop-up ads for pay firewalls. So when you go to a news site, it pops up saying subscribe. That's not going to be allowed anymore. And if you do those things, you will be, you can still do them. It's your website, but Google is not going to rank you high in the search engine if you do those things. And that's just the long and the short of it. So you need to stop doing those things. So from a user's perspective, all of those things are very annoying. So we like that. So I wasn't really sure how to feel about this. So I was telling the lovely Kimberly about it the other morning. I said, you know what Google's going to do? This is going to be, we have to really get a hold of all of our business customers because some of them use these techniques on their websites, and we need to get them to stop. We need to tell them we need to code some different solutions for you. And as new businesses are contacting us, and we have that free business strategy meeting where we sit down and kind of game out how your website can do more for you without any cost or anything. You don't have to pay us for the meeting. You can take our meeting and go take it to your web guy and say, do these things that Thor said. Well, when we do those meetings and I tell people, yeah, you're going to be hosed in like 60 days, you're going to tank. You need to do these things, and there's no time left. You've got to do them now. So for businesses, it's super scary. For consumers, it's kind of cool. So the lovely Kimberly, I'm telling her about this, and she says, huh. So let me get this straight. Google's basically banning their competition. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, well, any ad that Google has in their network is obviously going to be okay. But what you've just described is every other ad network's techniques for getting ads on screens. Mic drop. Oh my gosh. You are absolutely right, lovely Kimberly. I didn't even think of that. All of these things are how different ad networks that compete with Google put advertisements on screens. So if we make all their ads bad and the only good ads are Google, guess what everybody has to do? They have to ditch the old ad networks and move over to Google. Those evil geniuses. 888-250-2091. We're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we're going to tell you what you need to do to keep your computer and your phone safe in the coming year. Sophos has identified the number one threat to cell phones. This is the first time an antivirus company has included a top 10 threat that includes a phone infection. These are definitely real, and we're going to tell you what you need to do coming up next on Compute This.
If you can dream it, Schrock Interactive's website developers can make it happen. Refresh your website, automate sales and marketing, and grow your business today with Schrock Interactive. External hard drives are handy. You can back up multiple computers to them or even use them to move lots of data from one computer to another. Computer users have been buying the same old external hard drives for years. While our computers have been getting faster, we still do backups that take hours or watch epic progress bars creep by to move files. Schrock wanted more for our customers, so our innovators created the fastest external hard drives on the planet. Schrock modular storage devices are up to 50% faster than Seagate or Western Digital externals and are modular in the truest sense of the word. We can create whatever size and speed of drive you need for all of your needs, and all modular storage devices come with a data restoration guarantee. If you use our drives for backing up and your computer's hard drive fails, we'll restore your backup to your repaired computer for free. Fast, simple, and flexible technology solutions from Schrock Innovations. It's what we do. Compute This pro tip number 753. Have you ever wondered how the bad guys always seem to find a way into your computer? Gone are the good old days of email worms and I love you viruses. Nobody wants to steal your data anymore, or in many cases even your identity. Today's cyber criminals want to sell access to your computer or hold your data for ransom. The bad guys are exploiting zero-day vulnerabilities to break into systems that are supposed to be hack-proof. These vulnerabilities are always newly discovered, and the criminals have a brief time to exploit them before they get patched. Antivirus and firewalls do not prevent these attacks, but you can minimize your computer's exposure by installing all security patches as quickly as possible. The average computer needs 12 patches a week. That's not including the ones that are automatically delivered to your computer. Boost your cybersecurity by staying on top of it manually, or use a patch installation program like Secure Updater to get your computer the patches it needs. This pro tip is brought to you by Schrock Innovations Computer Company.
Alrighty, folks. Thanks for sticking with us through the hour here. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend it here with us. Compute This is recorded Sunday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. and is aired on multiple other stations across the country. And if you want to call into the program, you call in between 7 and 8 a.m. to 888-250-2091. If you call in at other times, we still take your call. We just take it at a service center and help you out, so it's not a big deal there. Want to mention a couple things really quick. We have a couple of software products that Schrock makes that can definitely help you improve the security and the overall safety of using your computer. The first one is absolutely free. It does not cost anything. It is called Drive Advisor. Drive Advisor, ER, Advisor, because it's made in America. Drive Advisor. I've told the story on the Aftershock about that before, about why it's ER and not OR. But the Drive Advisor software, you can get it for free at driveadvisor.com. And what it does, all it does, is it monitors the health of your hard drive. It watches your hard drive to see if the smart notification in your hard drive indicates that a failure is coming, so that you know the failure is coming before it gets so critical that you see symptoms. Because if you catch those failures early, you can replace the hard drive, oftentimes under warranty, before you have to go to data recovery. The trouble is HP, Dell, all the big manufacturers, they are not going to replace your hard drive until it's showing symptoms. If you have a hard drive in one of those brand name computers and it is under warranty, please do bring it into Schrock. We have a technique that we use to fix that problem. First, we back up your hard drive to another drive while we can still do that. Secondly, we play hockey with your hard drive in the service center. Oh man, we score goals that bounces off walls. I mean, it's like a hybrid between hockey and racquetball, but we do it with your hard drive. Then when we're done, we hook your hard drive back up to the computer, and guess what? It is exhibiting odd physical failure symptoms that we can get it replaced under warranty. Yay! And now we have it replaced. We're not stealing anything from anybody. We're not doing anything wrong here. These hard drives were bad. They were going to fail. We just want to get them replaced before they fail. If you have a Schrock modular computer or a solid-state laptop, and you have a hard drive that goes bad, if it goes from 100% to 99% health, we say, hey, that hard drive is bad, and we just replace it. No need for hockey, okay? We only have to do that on HPs and Dells and things like that. At Schrock, we just take care of you. But Drive Advisor puts you in the driver's seat so that you know when something is going bad, that you know ahead of time. And it's free, so why not, right? We also have a new feature that we're going to be releasing for Drive Advisor that is going to also advise you on the health of your battery. This is becoming increasingly concerning for people as we see computers in the service centers with batteries that are fire hazards, and people didn't even know. And so Drive Advisor is going to also have a battery advisor component to it coming soon to a theater near you. The other program that we make is called Secure Updater. Now, Secure Updater is a program that installs all of your third-party software or updates it automatically every 8 hours. So when you have, Flash, which you still get updates for, or more likely Adobe Reader, or Java, or LibreOffice, or CCleaner, or any of these, there's over 30 popular programs that Secure Updater covers. When you have a subscription to it, it just installs those updates for you to make sure you're patched. The biggest way that bad guys get into your computer through your antivirus software, especially if you're running subpar antivirus software, something like a McAfee or a Norton LifeLock, if you're running that stuff, you need to have Secure Updater to close those backdoors to try to prevent the number of infections that can get into the computer. So you can check that out. It's not free. That one costs because we have to maintain it with updates, but it is a 14-day free trial. So you can try it out for a couple weeks. No credit card required to try it at secureupdater.com. All right, so we're talking about security. Oh, by the way, Drive Advisor, I just saw this number tick up a little bit. Did you know that of all the hard drives that Drive Advisor has ever tested, because it tests any hard drive hooked up to your computer, including external hard drives, backup drives. Nothing like finding out your backup drive has been bad for years until you need to restore a backup because your main hard drive died. 14.6% of hard drives were bad of all the ones that Drive Advisor has ever tested, ever, in the history of Drive Advisor. That number has now ticked up to 14.8. So 14.8, let's just call it 15%. Of the hard drives that are out there in circulation right now are defective right now, and you don't even know it. That's what Drive Advisor does for you. It helps you understand that and then do something about it. All right, so we talk about security threats all the time, guys, and I've often said I can do an entire show on security threats and scare the bejesus out of everybody, and then sell a bunch of antivirus software, right? That's how the game is played, right? Viruses aren't real; they're just made by the antivirus companies, so they can sell their products. I've heard that one before. It's not true, by the way. But one of the reasons that we switched from Endpoint to Sophos was we take your computer's security very, very seriously. And there wasn't a problem with semantic software at the point we left. That's the time to leave a security product, is when everything is still working good, but there's trouble on the horizon, and you want to make sure you get away from that trouble. And so there's some trouble on the horizon for Semantic Endpoint. It's being switched over to Broadcom software. The Broadcom team does not have their stuff together. They are not communicating. I don't have any faith in the product anymore. I don't have faith in the people running the product anymore. So we switched over to Sophos because Sophos costs a little bit more, but it had a solid team of guys behind it. A solid international team of people that are ahead of the game, that get ahead of things so that you have proactive protection rather than reactive protection. That's a really big thing for me. I want to prevent you from getting infected so we never have to remove a virus, especially because when you have our Sophos products, we remove viruses for free if you get them. So we don't want to do that. So we want to just keep you safe. It's just easier for everybody, right? Well, Sophos put out a list of the top 10 threats, top 10 emerging security threats for 2021. And on the top 10 list for the first time ever was a telephone, a smartphone infection. So remember, for years, guys, we said your phones don't get infected. You're fine. If you get a weird email, you can click the link on your phone because it's safe, right? Well, there's this stuff called Joker malware that's infecting Android phones. The way that these guys make money is they infect your phone. So you install an app from the Google App Store, and it's a clean app. So you're getting a game for the grandkids or whatever. You install the app, then they push an update to the app that has the Joker malware. They are pushing out 23 infected updates a day on average to the Google Play Store. Same thing's happening on the Apple Store, but it's a little slower because humans actually review the code, whereas Google reviews it with algorithms. So it's a little easier to trick the computer reviewers than the actual humans. But basically, 23 times a day, people who have completely legit apps are getting updates that have Joker malware. And the way the Joker malware makes money is it sends text messages from your phone to those. It's the equivalent of a modern day 900 number. You send a text message to a number and it costs you $5 to send the text message. Well, they'll send 100 text messages to that number, and then they get paid a chunk of the money that the number gets paid. So you want to make sure your phones are safe. You really need to make sure you have Sophos protection on your phones. We can install it for you in about 2 minutes or less at the service center. All you have to do is come over to any Schrock service center, bring your phone in. We'll do it while you wait. You don't have to leave your phone behind, and it's only $65 a year. We don't charge you the upfront installation cost because the install is so easy. But it will monitor for Joker malware. And if one of the apps you have on your phone is compromised, guess what? You're safe. The app will be removed from your phone and you'll get an alert. That's the good stuff that Sophos does for you. Today's winner is Ed. Congratulations, Ed. You got yourself a $25 Schrock Innovations gift certificate. We'll get that added to your Schrock account here coming up. Also, stay tuned for the After Schrock, guys. Coming up on the show today, we got all kinds of good stuff. How to follow me on Parler. Windows 7 is still getting infected, and some shortages on parts we saw this week. And we'll be back again next Sunday for another edition of Compute This.
Happy holidays, Nebraska, from Superstation KFAB.